CAT VARC book. Welcome to today's Wiley India webinar on acing verbal sections of CAT, XAT and IFT. I am essentially focusing on these three because these are the major exams and the difficulty level is higher in these exams, and these are the ones which will get you the best placements. Okay, so let's straight away go into the verbal section. Let us see how the breakdown of between RC and VA to start with. So CAT 19, you all know the pattern, 34 questions, 24 RC, 10 VA, so 70 to 30%, that was the ratio. So RC is given that kind of importance. We will later see how RC and VA are so closely linked and integrated. We'll come to that in a while. Now, something that's been bothering you most is about this change of timing of CAT 2020. So based on, I just sat down before the webinar and saw the pattern. It's there in my book as well about how the CAT pattern has changed virtually from 1999 onwards, I've given. So based on my inductive reasoning or my assessment, I feel that he will probably have overall 75 questions, 25 per section. Sectional time limit, etc., will all be the same. So, and probably the order will be the same. And in this 25, he will split it 19 RC, 4 passages, 3 of them with 5 questions, 1 of them with 4 questions, and 6 VA. And 6 VA again, 2 of each, para jumble, theta, odd man out, theta, and para summaries. So now the ratio, the RC component, relatively speaking, would slightly enhance. Let's come to XAT. XAT this year in January, which was held, this was the breakdown. There were 4 RCs, 1 poem. 1 poem had 2 questions. The 4 RCs together made 15 questions. So 1 RC had some 3 questions, the rest had 4. So RC was 65%, VA was 35%. And again, coming to the time aspect, CAT 2020, you'll get only 40 minutes. So 2/3 of the time, while the questions may be not exactly 2/3. So that is that you have to kind of consider. XAT pattern will remain the same. 50 minutes is a good recommended time for XAT verbal section. IFT 2019 was a little surprise because normally RC questions have high weightage and VA questions have less weightage. This time the weightage was 3 marks each, 35 questions. So RC 4 passages, 4 questions, which is the typical thing. But the length of RC passages was shorter. The VA 19 full of vocabulary. So again, earlier it used to be about 50-50. Now there is a shift more towards VA, at least seen from last year's IFT. So let's further see the VA breakup. So VA breakup of CAT 19, you're already aware because that's been followed. But what will happen in CAT 2020? So 6 VA, you can expect 222. And same theta questions, para summary, multiple choice, para jumbles and out of context sentence will be theta questions. XAT, let us see the breakup just to see what are the other areas. So para jumbles, MCQs, which you are used to. Critical reasoning, normally XAT used to have about 5 at least. This time there were 3, but they were tough, of a different kind. So XAT surprised with its type of critical reasoning. And so each year, a little bit of surprise one should always cater for within your scheme of things. Vocabulary based questions were 2, basically sentence completion or fill in the blanks. grammar-based questions were identify, incorrect sentence, etc., which were fairly simple questions. So grammar, hardly any importance given really. Even in IFT, grammar had only 3 questions, para jumbles 3. Vocabulary-based questions take the cake in IFT. So IFT requires a separate effort on vocabulary and, difficult range of vocabulary with foreign words. Though there could be idioms at times, like last time there were 2, but that shouldn't, bother you. Don't start mugging up long lists of idioms. That's not worth it. Just work for vocabulary. Idioms, you will find you may be able to just guess the meaning from the options, or you may even know all those. Because mugging up all this doesn't serve too much of a purpose. So this is the kind of emphasis or breakdown. CAT focuses on those areas which are nothing but RC. So if you see para summary, summarizing is the basic RC skill. When you read, you summarize mentally as to what are his main points, what is explanation part, what is some background information, and you home on to the main points. And that gives you the summary of the para. So that's the same thing you do in RC, but there you do it for para by para and then a passage. So you got to, in your blackboard of your mind, you have more bullet points. Here you'll have probably 2 bullet points in a para summary, because in a para you'll note that yes, these 2 things must be included in the summary if the meaning is to be conveyed properly, right? Para jumbles, I don't know why students are so stuck up with para jumbles. Part of the reason that para jumbles bother you is because you say there's too much of coaching or too much of let's say marketing kind of coaching. You're trying to give you patterns that look for a general to specific, or maybe specific to general, or I remember there was a teacher I knew who used to give some 10 patterns. Now just remembering those 10 and trying to fit in, that takes so much of time, and it's better to just read it and trust your IQ, trust the brain that God has given you, and just do RC and just try to identify, okay, this seems to make a good starting sentence. Again, you see, it's all likely. Now I have given you likely CAT pattern. You'll say, sir, how do you know? Are likely is matter of evaluation. I've done some based on some past trend pattern I've studied, and based on that, I'm guessing. I'm making a judgment, right? So similarly, you are supposed to make a judgment that, okay, this would make a good concluding sentence. 2 pairs, definitely these 2 have to go together. Then, this one can only come after this, right? And then see starting, ending, see the grammar links, and parallelly do the RC, and your para jumble is sorted out. And especially when there are no options. You see, options earlier made it slightly easier, and the earlier approach may have worked partially because options were given. But Theta, you have to rely on RC. And most of you have been reading extensively, because now everybody knows that without reading, you can never improve your verbal ability. So I find almost 3,000 and more students on my Telegram RC group, and the kind of articles that come in foreign journals are pretty tough to read. Now, if you're going to read all that and be able to understand up to 50% of all that, so what's so difficult about concentrating on a para jumble? Because students still ask me, sir, para jumbles koi technique batao. Anyway, we'll look into that. Out of context sentence again is a para jumble. So again, you try to see the sequence, and then the one which is a loose end or which may come at the end, sometimes you see, or which may not logically fit in. So CAT sometimes gives you, let's say, 5 continuous sentences from a para and jumbles it. So you have to, let's say, see what 4 flow naturally, and the 5th may come at the end and may make a, You could have a 5-sentence coherent para, but you have to only go for a 4-1. So leave the 5th as odd man out. Okay. So RC, the VA of CAT is nothing but RC. I mean, the same things that you do while reading is what you're going to do here. There is no specially some, premise, conclusion coming up. So it's not like critical reasoning where you're analyzing an argument. So there's nothing special you have to do other than what you have got so used to for so many months in all your reading. That, of course, para jumbles are tough from tough areas, so vague. So again, subject matter is what bothers most of us. Similarly, in CAT, subject matter is tough. So that is why making connections of meaning can be difficult. Critical reasoning of that is very tough. I mean, I don't know how to tell you to do those kind of questions, except that you should understand arguments, that what are arguments, and what is premise, conclusion, inference, assumption, etc., etc. And critical reasoning is important also from the point of view of RC, because that or RC also has a reasoning included in their RC question types, which we'll see in a while. And CAT also last year had a lot of critical reasoning type questions. Which of the following would strengthen the argument, etc. Vocabulary is, again, by reading, hopefully your vocabulary should have built to a certain extent. Plus, obviously, you've been working on vocabulary that you can't leave aside. So you have to separately work on vocabulary. There is no option. You can't say, oh, vocabulary chhod sakta hu. You can't, right? And grammar, you need to only focus on the common errors like subject verb agreement, pronoun errors like pronoun case, me, I, or whatever, him, her, and the verb tenses. Verb tenses also is basically past perfect tense, past, between past tense, present perfect, and past perfect. Normally questions are made around these 3 only, right? Then parallelism you must understand. So basic, which are given in the Wiley CAT VRC book in a ZAT supplement, common grammar, common errors in grammar. And for vocabulary, we have in our book a whole 16-week program for building vocabulary. In addition, every RC passage, every word that is difficult, that word lists are given after every passage. So you have virtually over 3,000 vocabulary words in the, because I, for one, as a teacher, I have always emphasized on the importance of vocabulary. I don't know why kids, I have not been able to get this into their head that without vocabulary, you cannot consider yourself proficient in the English language. So even now you should work on vocabulary. Okay, let's move further. Now, since we now saw it as compartmentalized, RC, VA separate, then within VA, all the question types. So English seems to be all broken up into different compartments. Now that is the biggest mistake that you guys make. You see, you must understand, I mean, I'm now seeing, I saw my son grow up, develop his language. Now I'm seeing my grandson grow up. So when you see from childhood how language builds, then you see how they are so interconnected. So first thing you have to do is enter this circle, the intellectual world of educated people, because you're dealing with the higher level of language, advanced grammar, difficult words. So to enter here, first you need to form the eclectic reading habit and read diverse subject matter. Come into this intellectual world of educated people and be comfortable in that area. Once you are in that area, then you are ready to, attempt vocabulary questions, grammar questions, reasoning questions, RC. And if you see, uh, vocabulary, grammar, reasoning are at the vertices with RC at the center. So if your vocabulary is weak, when you trip in RC, you will never realize. Like there was some passage I remember, the most telling point. Now people didn't understand what is telling point, who's telling whom, right? Or ham it up. Now you probably have heard of ham radio or ham, what you have for breakfast maybe. So you didn't know ham it up. So there were two questions just on the vocabulary. I mean, if you miss these two words, you would have got two RC questions wrong. In addition, the person who makes the questions also introduces more English vocabulary. The author has put in used vocabulary. The examiner puts in his vocabulary in the question stem and in the options. So there is no escaping vocabulary, whether there are direct vocabulary questions or not. If you don't understand this and later say, oh, I'll have to repeat the year, don't blame me or don't blame us, right? Grammar is so crucial. Now, all you must master the sentence structure. You must know that this is a phrase, this is a clause, this is the main clause of which this is the subject. So doing those common error questions to an extent helps strengthen this, right? But you must get more into difficult, more GMAT kind of sentence correction level where you have long sentences, and then you try to understand the structure. That strengthens your or internalizes the grammar structure in your head. So when you read, even if the sentence is running into 5 lines, all the ideas are sticking out. So you're reading in thought units. You'll find you're reading in thought units. So that kind of a skill you have to acquire. So for that, there is a full chapter devoted to that in my book. Then reasoning, obviously, we all have reasoning ability. You do LR, you do mathematics, it's all reasoning. What else is there? The only thing in verbal, you add the inductive reasoning element, right? So your ability to reason by seeing logical connection between ideas, by seeing logical connection between the main idea of para 1 and how para 2 and 3 support it, how they strengthen that main point, just as what you do in critical reasoning, right? That this strengthens that, this weakens that. Okay. So all that kind of reasoning ability by doing, so in a way, working on verbal ability strengthens your RC. Reading regularly strengthens each area because you're straining to understand. You're reading for meaning. And while you're reading for meaning, difficult words are bothering you, but you're trying to guess their meaning and later probably checking in a dictionary. Sometimes you're stopping, you're getting stuck at some long sentence and trying to read it a second time to get the flow. Okay, what does latter mean here and the former mean, so that the link is clear? Which is the cause and which is the effect, right? So how does the sentence structure convey this meaning? So that will come, your mind will work on that. Again, how are these questions related? How is he building his argument? Which is the conclusion that he's arriving at? So once you read, your mind works in those directions and your verbal ability elements get strengthened. If you work on verbal ability, your RC gets strengthened. So there is a reciprocal, uh, let's say, influence or benefit of each. The three vertices contribute to the center, and focus on the center helps the vertices also become strong. But for that, you have to first get into the intellectual world of educated people. Those who don't read as a habit, they can forget about improving their language skills forever. So if you don't read, then don't blame anyone. Okay, so coming closer to RC, because we've seen RC component is the largest, and even VA, like I said, is even when you're doing a vocabulary sentence completion question or a grammar sentence correction question, you're reading for meaning. And when you're reading for meaning, you're trying to again see what is the subject, which is the verb, what is basically what he's saying, how, oh, this is the adverb clause, which is modifying the main clause, and so on and so forth. And in sentence completion, you're trying to see, okay, this now, but even though this, yet this. So an opposing idea should come. So this word, this blank should be filled up by this word, while that blank should have that word. So you're constantly reading for meaning, even when you're doing vocabulary questions, right? Unless, of course, it's a plain synonym antonym question. There again, you're seeing it's part of speech. You see, the grammar and vocabulary are so closely linked. Okay, so coming to RC. Now, one is you are in the intellectual world, right, of the educated people. So you're doing subjects like philosophy, sociology, genetics, science, technology. So all those issues are being discussed, right? And those authors are eminent authors. They're not just saying some simple thing. They're developing unique perspectives. They are giving you insights into the issue. They are giving you the latest, let's say, research areas and findings that are emerging from there, and how this expert is saying this, but evidence shows otherwise. But so this expert says this, and so on and so forth. So you're dealing with difficult subject matter, and on top of that, right, there are three levels of meaning at which you must read. One is the literal level as stated in the passage. So the questions that test you for that are the specific detailed questions where you can actually go back and say, oh yes, this part, yes. Even if the words in the options are different, it is a specific detail, because see, words of the passage never match in the options. So those who have learned matching game, right, to match options with, those matching words will always be an option trap. The examiner wants to tell you that if you are matching words, you don't deserve to pass clear cat. Okay, so he lays traps for you. So be wary of these option traps. So literal level of meaning, it is already stated there. Inferential level gets strengthened with your, let's say, critical reasoning, your inferencing ability as to what is implying. When he says this globalizing of social inequities, or inverted representations have often been used for keeping the people oppressed or something, right? So you should be able to understand what he's saying. Well, what can you infer? What can you read in between the lines? Now, evaluative level is where largely inductive reasoning comes. Inductive reasoning is where you're making an evaluation. The author is not saying that this, like we said, okay, PPT, this async, verbal, so and so sections of this. Author doesn't state that this is my main idea, this is my central theme, this is my primary purpose, etc., etc., right? He expects you as a reader to enjoy the reading and appreciate. He writes in the best possible way for you to understand. So from the very flow of his thoughts, the structure, you should be able to say, अच्छा मेन बात ये है, ओके अब समझ आ रहा है, बिकॉज पहले भी कही थी, बाद में ये दोहरा रहा है, यहाँ he is emphasizing it, right? These are the three key arguments about this issue that he is bringing out. This is how it's logically developing. This is how third para is supporting his that second point of second para, and so on and so forth. And here, see, he's being sarcastic because he's trying to cut that other guy's argument, pick holes in his argument, and be sarcastic about it. Then application-based questions. How, if you have understood what the author is saying, how in a particular situation would you think that it would work? So largely you see, CAT, XAT have difficult questions. So let's see the kind of RC treatment in the three different exams. Right, CAT RC. So two questions on RC that always bother some of the students who are beginners particularly. At this stage, I hope there's no beginner here, right? One is speed, and the other is, should I read the questions first or should I read the passage first? Okay, so let's just start with CAT RC. Passages are between 500 to 530. I mean, I've just given a range from last year's thing, but it's around that much. It can go up to 550. So 5 passages. As we saw this time, there will be 4 probably, right? Difficulty level of the passage, that means of the subject matter and the ideas being conveyed, that is moderate to difficult. CAT 2019, again it was moderate to difficult. The added difficulty comes, so one is the eminent writer whom you're dealing with, who's writing his thoughts, right? He is trying to make it easy for you to understand a difficult subject matter because you obviously are uncomfortable with that subject matter. But that guy is trying to help you understand it by trying to write it as lucidly as possible. But the point comes, the next guy. The next guy is the CAT examiner or the XAT examiner, etc. He is the guy who's going to frame the questions. Now he is going to see how deeply or how correctly or how precisely or thoroughly you have understood this guy, right? So he will try to make twisted questions. Now some student told me that, sir, these except questions I don't understand. Arey, what's so difficult here? If they say which of the following can be inferred except, just see what can be inferred. You have read and understood. Now see, yeah, this can be inferred. This, yeah, this can be inferred. Oh, this doesn't seem to match with. Okay, let's So odd man out strikes out. In fact, it's simpler when 3 in fact reinforce. So 3 of them are correct, which are reinforcing what you have understood. And is the 4th one which is confirming that no, this is not correct. So if you have understood this, this is the wrong, So I'm just saying, a lot of double negatives are used in RC questions. The framing of the options are very close. So you have to, especially primary purpose. Is he analyzing? Is he, presenting an argument? Is he giving a wake up call? So all kinds of things the examiner goes into test you for precise and thorough understanding, for deeper understanding. That is the second hurdle you have to pass. So in RC, there are 2 hurdles, right? While in para jumbles and para summary, there's only one hurdle, the author who's written the passage. Here you have the examiner who's already asking such close choices. Okay. So approach in CAT is obviously you have to start with the passage. You have to understand it properly. There is no way, because the favorite RC questions are primary purpose, main idea, what is the meaning of this expression that is used or this sentence is used, what can you infer from here, etc., etc. And CAT 2019 had even application-based questions, critical reasoning type questions. So without precise and thorough understanding, speed, you can forget about speed, focus on understanding, right? Speed will come with practice, okay? So read actively for precise and thorough understanding, or read closely for deeper understanding. Main aim is to form a mind map of the thought flow so that in your mind, para by para, you have those bullet points. Like this slide here, I knew before the webinar that, okay, these are sequence of slides, these are the main points I have to cover. So that is there in my head. What is before, what is after. At the end of reading a passage, that should be there in your head. Then when you read a question, even if you have to go and cross-check, your eyes will straight away move to the right place exactly, and you'll find it there, right? So this is the only approach for CAT. Now let's come to IFT. IFT, fortunately, earlier had very long passages, 800 to 1200 words. So it was crazy. I didn't know how to teach kids how to do those passages. But fortunately, last year, this was the exact range of those 4 passages, right? Moderate difficulty. So passage is decent enough. This is more on the level of, let's say, editorials of Indian newspapers, Economic Times, etc. The questions are not so tough. Out of 4 questions, you may have about 2 or 3 specific detail and 1 odd inference. So that's fairly okay. So even if your depth of understanding is not there, you are able to comfortably answer it. So less time is taken in answering questions. So reading speed is not, like in CAT also, reading speed is not what is bothering. If you read fast and not understand, and then when you're answering these questions, and if you have to go back 10 times, or you don't go back and just tick out of gut feel, or some stupid thing you've been taught about elimination of, options. I don't know how you can eliminate options without understanding. I would like to know someone who tells me if he has been effective in being able to eliminate options without understanding the passage or vaguely understanding the passage. Okay. So coming back to IFTRC, glance here is better to glance over the question just to confirm that this guy is not asking some difficult inference based question or not. That feel will come because with practice you'll be able to get a feel of it, and uh, then read. You can read a little faster because time limit in IFTRC, if you have overall, let's say 40 minutes for the whole section, VA should take about, again, 15 minutes. Earlier I used to say 15 for VA, 25 for RC, but now because the passages have become shorter, maybe you can shift 20 to RC and 20 to VA so that VA you max, because there are no sectional, RC and VA is one section. There's no separate sectional cutoff, right? So if we go by just last year's IFT pattern, this should be what your approach should be. So in 20 minutes, if you have to do 4 passages, even if they are short, you need to move a little faster in your reading. So skimming and scanning I've just written, but read in a normal way, not too thoroughly. The focus may not be so much on forming a mind map, except for, little bit. But once that habit is formed, even if you do it fast, that habit will remain. Okay. XAT RC is the toughest. Shorter passages, 260 to 320. Last time there were 4 passages, and I think one passage had 3 questions, others had 4. Now, the difficulty level of passages is the highest among all exams. So the questions are also on the tougher ones, means inferential and the evaluative level ones, right? So it's a double whammy. So IFT requires further strengthening what you have done for CAT, further strengthening that ability, and maybe, focusing. But one thing is that sometimes if the XAT examiner picks up a passage from some difficult area where you see half the passage is so difficult that even the examiner, when he goes to make a question, he doesn't know what question to make. Then he makes 3 questions from the easy part. So what I have given as an approach is first identify the question types. Look at the question. Arey, ye to acha application hai. Okay. So this is inference, right? This is strengthening, weakening. So critical reasoning type. Okay. So now you have seen the question types, right? Then you are going, so you already got an idea of, and you remember something though that's been asked in those questions. So read to understand relevant portions without wasting time over very difficult portion. So if it's a difficult portion, don't give up. You know that that difficult portion he couldn't have made a question on, right? So go through the difficult portion. If you're not understanding, okay, and then come to part, yeah, this seems to be okay. So this much you have understood. I've not understood the top part or the second part or whatever, right? And from there, whatever questions you can answer, try your best. And finally, it's all a relative thing. The same problem is there for all your other colleagues. So ZAT RC, hats off to the ZAT examiner. I don't know, he expects you guys to be super intellectuals. Okay, now this is what concerns you most. What should be your examination strategy? You've been taking mock CATs, which have been, let's say, as per old pattern. Now they've started the new pattern. Okay, so let's have a look. So time has reduced to 40 minutes. VS section 25, 4 RC 19, 6 VA. So take a minute to have a look, because this will be the first time in any case. So you need to get an overview. You never know. My inductive reasoning may prove off the mark. You see, but most likely, finally, it's a degree of probability. Okay. So it's not wide open. The field is not wide open. You have to, let's say, prepare based on some estimate you have made. Like, you know, I mean, I'm just saying, estimating how many will come for the marriage from your guest list is also inductive reasoning. And I've always been right in my inductive reasoning. So I have a little confidence in my inductive reasoning. So believe me, 25 questions, 19 RC, 6 VA. So attempt only 3 RC, because you've done your overview. So you've seen, yeah, ye to thoda difficult lag raha hai. Okay, let's leave it aside. So 1 minute in overview, 11 minutes into 3 RCs. See what best you can do. 4 VAs, 1.5 minutes per VA. I find para summary pretty simple. Theta don't have negative marks, so theta could be another good thing to go for, but that most of you find it difficult. So anyway, the point is you should be able to attempt 18 or 19 questions, about 3/4 of the paper. We have seen over the years, I've been in this field by 18 years, every analysis of every this thing, the optimum marks you can get if you attempt. So the thumb rule I have followed is 3/4 of the paper, but accuracy 85, 80 to 85. That's what, don't compromise on accuracy. If you slightly go wrong on attempts, accuracy should remain high. Don't assume that accuracy to ho jayegi, attempts sare kar liye, dekh lenge, itna to inaccurate nahi hoga. But the point is, the negative marks you learn will drag you down so badly, you won't know what has hit you. In CAT 2006, people got, in the verbal part, they got a score in the negatives. So it was who got less negative. So that's the kind of situation that was at once. So this should be your strategy. 3/4, so broadly, whatever the paper, 3/4 of the paper, but high accuracy. So high accuracy is assured how? Through solid preparation, not just like that, right? So let's see preparation now. So exam strategy, okay, but you can do that only if you've had a good preparation strategy. And CAT is on 29th November, IFT on 6th December, ZAT on 3rd January 2021, right? So CAT, ZAT, 5 weeks difference, CAT, IFT, 1 week difference, right? So you got to prepare in a way you're ready for everything. So develop eclectic reading habits, which I've said without reading, you are nothing. Your verbal is nothing. 2 hours daily. For IFT particularly, now that many of you would be, you can now start reading Economic Times because the subject matter, a lot of it comes from business, economics, finance, and management related these things, right? So you find such kind of articles in Eco Times or the Mint, etc., etc. Most of you have been reading selected articles from foreign magazines. So that cat only picks up from there. Eon, The Guardian, New York Times, Smithsonian's, etc., etc. Okay. And through those articles, build your background knowledge. Wherever you don't understand anything, if you keep Googling, you will end up knowing the history of 21st century and all, things that the author has been referring to. You will understand basics of economics and political science, which emerged from those articles. If you didn't, then you should have been curious about anything mentioned. If utilitarian he mentioned in the article, you should have gone and Googled, right? Similarly, Keynesian, check, Google, philosophy, psychology, genetics, evolution, cat's favorite, right? Art, society, culture, cat's favorite, morality, that favorite, and so on and so forth. So these are all areas where through reading and not just reading, Googling to see whether you understand those concepts in those areas. Parallelly, vocabulary, you can't just leave it that through reading you have acquired a bit. No, vocabulary needs a separate effort. So that is why in our book we have provided you with a 16-week vocabulary program with words which are part of the useful range of words with multiple meanings, their connotation, the confusable synonym, antonyms, etc. And to broaden your background knowledge also, the widest possible range of subject matter has been covered through the RC and VA questions. I mean, in the very selection, I did a lot of reading myself before selecting passages and portions of passages for different questions and RC passages, etc. And I saw that nothing is repeated and that every question gave you something new to learn, right? So the so totally 210 RC passages, which includes the best of CAT and ZAT also. So there also I've selected the widest range, right? If there was a repetition or old passage talking, I've skipped those. But those are not relevant today. So the irrelevant ones I've weeded out from CAT, ZAT, etc. and put their best and the widest and my widest. So that comes to 210 and 210 RC passages, 310 para jumbles, para summaries, odd man out. So all those also cover so many different topics. So you have virtually 520 topics to build your background knowledge, because I said people are not going to otherwise take the trouble. So let me include as much as possible in my book. And then after every difficult passage, I have given a summary. I've given a suitable title after every passage. I've given vocabulary list after every passage. Where there is background knowledge you must know, I have given that after every difficult passage, so that it is like spoon feeding. So all that is there in my book. Then chapter 6 of my book tells you about analysis, transformation, and synthesis of sentences, where you, in a way, let's say, internalize the grammar syntax, you master the sentence structure of grammar. Then concepts of logic, there's a separate chapter on logic. I have not gone into too much of syllogisms, etc., which have virtually stopped coming because people have all given some mechanical ways of doing it that, the whole purpose of logic is lost. So all this is there in the book, which should be part of your preparation strategy for all the 3 exams. So I think with this, I have finished. Thank you very much. I'm reachable at this email address and this number. We will now look forward to your questions.
Thanks, sir. So now the floor is open for the questions and answer round. I'm able to see a couple of questions already there in the chat window. So, sir, first question is from the Shekhar. And, sir, is there any sentence correction question in the CAT examination?
No. Who is this
Shekhar.
gentleman? I mean, there have been no sentence correction in the CAT examination for at least 5-6 years. So, but you should otherwise do sentence correction for the 2 questions, 2 odd questions that may come in ZAT or IFT. And otherwise, doing sentence correction will strengthen your understanding of sentence structure, which will help your RC. So doing those questions, it doesn't come in CAT, so I'll not do it. It's not worth practicing, right? But they don't come in CAT. Next.
So, sir, next question is from Anshul. I am facing problem in RC in CAT. How to ace RC?
Now I've spoken so much on RC. My book, as you can see here, is about RC. And like I said, for RC, the biggest problem with most of you is that you are unable to understand because of lack of comfort level with the subject matter. That is the first hurdle. And you don't realize it. Nobody tells you that. And because they want to convince you that you can clear CAT, will give you simple ways of doing it. And therefore you are fooled by them, and you don't put in the hard work of trying to become intellectual in your width of thinking through reading, the kind of articles which from where CAT takes makes the RC passage. So RC, you just got to start reading. That's it. Now 2 months are left. I feel uncomfortable when such questions are asked just before 2 months, building that intellectual. But I hope you've been doing that. Somebody would have certainly told you that. So RC, please buy the book. All the concept of RC has been explained so extensively that you will never have a problem with RC if you follow this strictly. Next.
So, sir, the next question is from Pooja. Sir, how to improve accuracy in RC?
Depth of understanding. You have to understand it. As you read, form a mind map of the thought flow. You shouldn't have to go back. Your mind has already got all the points that he said. Now, as you read a question, you say, yes, first para, correct. If you want to reconfirm, you can always glance back quickly and tick the answer. That is how you improve accuracy, by understanding properly. And to understand properly, comfort level with background knowledge is more important. That is the thing that bothers you guys most. This is my experience. In your case, I specifically don't know what are the other problems that you may have, but you have to form the right mental habit of reading, whereby you think as you read, so you are assimilating. You got a whole PPT in your blackboard of your mind. Okay, so that's what I've got to say. Next.
So, sir, the next question is from Aishwarya, and so she wants to know what is the name of your Telegram channel.
Oh, we will link pura. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't have that link. You can call me up or email me. I gave you the numbers earlier. So just send me a message on WhatsApp at 9818141257. I'll send you the link. Okay.
So, sir, the next question is from Uday. I can't remember what I read when I move forward in RC. How to solve that?
Now, these are serious problems. I mean, not in October. These serious problems shouldn't be asked in October. This again is because you don't find the topic interesting, right? He is talking about how let's say beauty and morality are interlinked. And what Hegel had to say about it, and what this guy had to say about it, and what the author himself is saying about it. So you're lost. So, I mean, how can I help you, or how can anybody help you? So we have tried to help you by giving you so many different topics and then giving you summaries, explaining all of them in simple language, right? That's the best we can do. So you can still, make a attempt at reading widely, assimilating different subject matter so that you understand, your mind will not get digressed. And if you're forming bullet points in your head, why should you lose interest or you get distracted? Because you're actively involved in the process of reading. Like today, now I'm answering you, I'm actively involved. I can say, yaar, ye stupid bacha pata nahi kya pooch raha hai, my mind gets distracted. If I'm committed to this webinar and helping you, I will try to give you the best possible answer I can, because I'm concerned. Similarly, when you're reading, concentrate on what the author is saying. Now, concentration techniques, maybe you can learn from, some yoga teacher or something. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone next?
So next question is from Anand.
Yeah.
Sir, and he wants to know that in para jumble there are 4 options and there can be 24 arrangements. So 1 out of 24 probability of getting it correct. Should we attempt such questions in the last if we are done with all other questions?
See, that means you have no faith in your ability to read and understand. Now, if you're treating para jumble like a, permutation combination problem, then what do you do in RC? RC, here you have, you see, let's say 5 sentences or 4 sentences, and then, what will you do in a RC, my friend? I mean, are you trying to mock me? Or, I mean, I think this question is more mischievous than sincere. Because in RC now there are so many sentences. In how will you understand what he's saying? In which combination will you understand? Okay. So once you start reading, as you read, okay, yes, 2 and 3, yes. This is linked here because of the grammar link, right? Such a view means that view mentioned there. So such a view has to come after that, right? Then this or that, these, those, the is very important as an article. When you start, you say an economy, and then you say the economy later. So obviously the will come after. So it will be more like a LR problem, right? That Amar is taller than Akbar. So all those, so you have to make a set LR. So don't treat it like a permutation combination problem. Treat it like a LR problem where the links it'll be automatically visible to you once you start reading. Okay. Right. Thank you. Next.
So the next question is from Pooja. Sir, I'm getting only 20 in RC. What should I do now?
So now you should intensify your effort, work 4 hours on my book, and I'm available on that number and web, on WhatsApp and Telegram, etc., to clear your doubts. 20 is decent. You have to gradually, build it. You have to start sometime. The earlier you start, the better. And the earlier you start, the more you're ready for even other MBA entrance exams. But start in earnest. Don't start wishy-washy. Oh, I'm getting only 20, so what's the use of even trying? So that's not the approach. Start in earnest. That's the way to improve. And improvement, I have already in my, let's say, webinar explained RC, that approach you have to improve, knowledge you have to improve, vocabulary improvement will help, etc., etc. Okay. Next.
So the next question is from Stuti. I've started my CAT preparation this month. Please suggest a preparation strategy.
So for people who have started this month, I don't have a preparation strategy, simply because if you are absolutely raw and have started this month, then you are supremely overconfident, right? But obviously that would not be the case. I'm sure you have done something and maybe now trying to seriously start now, maybe taken CAT once or twice. So your strategy should be to complete my book within these 2 months. That's it for VA, with my assistance if necessary.
So,
So the book will give you everything, right? Okay.
so sir, the next question is from Mineral. Sir, I am not able to read the Aeon articles at a stretch. How should I improve that?
Even I can't. I have to go and take an oxygen. I've got an oxygen, can to get a burst of oxygen, because sometimes my brain is drained of oxygen. Okay. So those passages are very tough and very long, 3,200. You have to virtually have a piece of paper and maybe note down points if you really want to seriously understand. I have read some of those passages, made RC questions from there for the mocks that I have put in my book, right? It took the life out of me. I mean, my brain used to be drained. So if you can't read it at a stretch, that's hard. That's a small problem, right? But if you can still understand and maybe note down that, okay, up to now, these are the main points. And if you can understand about 50% of it, because CAT is going to take something from there, ZAT is going to take something from there. In fact, ZAT takes from even books. So that's even tougher. So this is what you have to face now. I can't help it. People are being unfair, punishing you with such difficult passages. The only thing is, there they reduce it to 500 words or 250 words, like ZAT, 200 to 300 words. So that you can manage. But do you even understand the little that you read? That is a question of worry. If you don't understand even the little that you read, then I'm worried. But if you can't read a 3,000 or 4,000 word passage in a stretch, that's no problem at all. Nobody can do it, right? Okay, so don't worry. Next.
So the next question is from Rishi. Sir, I have read much about the Marxism and it's acting as a barrier to me because whenever there's a passage on that, I'm a prejudiced about the topic and my comprehension go in that way.
See, this is the most stupid thing that I've heard. And that normally happens if you are opinionated. You see, suppose you are a Marxist by belief, you're a leftist, right? And you believe in Marxism. So then you can get biased. But if you have read Marxism as an intellectual, you know communism, right? You know the surplus value theory. You know the relationship between, let's say, capital and labor, okay, proletariat and bourgeoisie. If you know that the uh, what Marxist attitude towards religion. So if you know all that, you understand, your comfort level increases when you're reading. Like if somebody doesn't know anything about communism, let's say there was some para jumble in CAT saying horses and communism are a mismatch, and then he goes to explain that, right? Now, because people knew nothing what communism is about and how horses are related, at least you, since you know what communism is about, you'll be able to do that. Okay, so it's an advantage. But most of you, when you're young, you tend to get carried away with one, let's say, philosophy or something, and because that appeals to you, you become idealistic. That is a problem. That is why eclectic reading habits. The key word is eclectic. How wide? The wider you read, the wider your appreciation of things. You read only Marxism, then you will be stuck there. and view everything happening on the news, on TV, or reading anything you do, you will read it from that perspective, then you cannot ever even do any intellectual development. You will be stuck there for life. So, receptivity, openness, go to the passage. Acha, what is he saying? Oh, Marx's birthday. So, he is talking about this aspect about Karl Marx, that it's still relevant today, though we know communism is dead. But so put it in context and then see what he's saying. Sorry. So this is how to openness and receptivity to new ideas, but comfort level with the subject matter, not fanatical about the subject matter. If you're fanatical about the subject matter, you have closed your doors to new views. You're constantly saying, hey, ये क्या बकवास कर रहा है? Marxism मुझे आती, ये सिखा रहा है मुझे, साला, ये सिखाएगा, हैं? If this is how you're, talking to the RC passage that's there in front of you, then you can forget about developing your mind throughout your life. It'll hamper you throughout your life. Okay, forget about CAT. CAT is a small thing. That's the most dangerous thing, right? Then you should go to JNU and become a union leader and lead some leftist movement. Use your knowledge then productively in that kind of a thing. Don't go for CAT, right? Thank you. Next.
So the next question is from Ankit. What should be the first preference attempt, RC or VA?
I would go for RC because RC is the most dependable. So you've already taken an overview. You've decided ये तीन पैसे तो करने ही करने, right? Because there are five questions on it. 500 word पढ़ो, 5 question, right? So 100 words worth of reading, 1 question you get right. There also in VA also that is the kind of proportion. Okay. So why not do RC? RC like a LR set. एक बार set crack हो गया, सारे questions clear हो गए. So once you've understood the RC, all 5, tuck, 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 you shouldn't even have to go back to the passage. Okay. So RC is the most dependable and the most productive, right? Theta para jumbles, even I get confused at many times, even if I think my RC was best and this, but somehow it is so out of context that it is difficult to make out sometimes, right? So sometimes the para jumbles can be a little unfair. So, but RC is dependable. In that 500 words, he is saying something concrete, something definite. You understand that much, you get 5 questions right. Or 4 and maybe skip 1, could be a twisted question, right? So RC first, then if you have time, do VA. After 3, then see the time. And based on, if you got about, let's say, 10 minutes there, then go straight for VA. Don't take up another RC. Next.
So sir, the next question is from Ria. How often should we do VARC sections, mocks apart from the book? And which mock test do you suggest we buy?
Frankly, I've not seen the level. I've been busy writing this book and improving upon it and writing more, making more material for my next book. So I'm obviously not in a position to guide you about other mocks, but I don't know. You have to ask this from your friends based on. But I have, out of all the coaching centers where I've worked, I found IMS English was the best. So that tradition, there was a Professor Rane who started IMS. So he set it on these lines, good English content. So the English, that's why I loved working in IMS and I worked the longest there. So I would, therefore, because I'm biased, say do IMS material for English. I don't know about others. I don't want to comment on areas I'm not qualified to comment. Next.
So sir, the last question is from Deepak. And he wants to know, sir, sometimes it is very difficult to understand articles from certain topics like history. Even after reading 3-4 times, I'm not been able to get the gist how to cope with that.
Yeah, so history, but which part of history? I mean, and you see, CAT doesn't focus on, let's say, the Mughal era, okay, and some specific rule of so-and-so, or so it will not be vague, or it has to be what an educated layman should know. As a normal person, you should know that, you see, the 20th century, today we are in the 21st century, had World War I during that time. Then you had the Russian Revolution, then you had the Great Depression, then you had rise of fascism in Europe, and then you had World War II, then you had the Cold War between. So you should have a global reach, you should understand world history, major event, generally aware of it. You can't, no passage will ever come on a specific area of history, but even if it does come, it will explain that fully. So you have to just answer from there. For that, you may not need background knowledge at all, right? So I don't understand your question, because I have read so much, written so much. I don't know what is this passage on history alone. So you can actually get in touch with me with that passage, and I can tell you. So again, I hope you have noted down my number, 9818141257. Get in touch with me on WhatsApp. Okay, next.
So, sir, there's again, sir, a last question.
Yeah.
So this is again from Anjali. Sir, I'm doing concepts from book so far. So for online and time practices, shall I give sectionals daily or finish concept first?
First, do the concepts, get your mental habits right through the reading task and other things given in my book. Form the right mental habits. You know, even concept section, you may have to do some chapters twice sometimes, right? So that those sink in. And you still have time. And again, I don't know the quality of the sectionals that you're doing. So if you can, I'm in touch, you're in touch with me, you can actually show me some example. Send me one PDF or something. Let me see the level of that and then tell you how close it is to CAT or whatever, right? Then I'll be able to guide you better, because I've been out of now the industry for quite some time. I've been writing books and otherwise doing my other personal affairs, managing my personal affairs. So I'm not in touch with what kind of quality of stuff is there in the market of IMS time, etc. So tell me what sectional tests you have, what is the quality, I'll tell you that. Okay. Right.
So
Next.
yes, sir. So there's again a last question
Yeah.
that is
So
from Radhika. So sir, as for CAT, a few days are left. How should we spend time in concept clearing and practice?
it's not few days, they're 2 months, damn it. Okay, not 2 months, but 7 weeks, right? Now 7 weeks is a lot if you've already done a lot. So you see, don't ask a question where I feel that you're starting from zero. I'm sure you've done already a lot and now you want to fine tune it. So fine tune through my book. What else? What else do you? Because here this will take you to a higher level. Here you have the best of CAT, the best of ZAT, the best of article that I read in Aeon and Guardian and etc., and made RC passages from them. I made para summaries, Theta para jumbles, odd man out, etc., and tried to give you wide exposure to, okay, this is yellow journalism, kya hota hai, Machiavellian kya hota hai, Schadenfreude kya hota hai, and so many things. So the width of knowledge and exposure you will gain from my book, even now 7 weeks is enough. You can do 3/4 of the book, and the 1/4 you can do before, let's say, ZAT. So at this time, if you want a capsule, hoping that you've already, reached some level, then my book is the answer. Well, I don't know you, I don't know your level, right? How much work you've done already. So I can only suggest that if you're about 70 to 80 percentile, Do my book, it will take you to 95 plus. Anything else?
So, sir, then again, there's a next question, sir. It is from List. Sir, he wants to know, sir, what should we do? We read question first, then go to passage, or read passage, then go to questions?
For CAT, just start reading the passage and understanding, forming the mind map. ये तो करना ही करना है, because CAT is RC यार, 75%, 76% I just showed you is RC. तो RC तो करना ही करना है, ठीक है? Seeing, looking at questions and all is like in IFT, because seeing the questions, so see questions easy हैं, so you can read the passage in an easy way, in a relaxed manner and fast manner and understand. In that, you know, questions तो tough होंगे ही होंगे, but फिर भी देख लेते हैं किस तरह के, किस, from there you remember something, so when you read the passage, वही areas पे ज़्यादा ध्यान देके पकड़ोगे. While in CAT, you have virtually 5 questions with 4 options, right? So how much does that come? 20, right? 500 divided by 20 is how much? So virtually it covers the whole passage. So all options included, the whole passage is covered. So you can't do any selective reading in any case. So it's not a question, but question reading, you may get lost. While you know the questions will be fair amount of, there will be some primary purpose, key argument, main idea question. तो main idea तो समझना ही है मुझे पहले ही, ठीक है ना? Inference based काफी होंगे, उसके लिए main idea ना आता हो तो inference भी नहीं आ सकती, ठीक है? So the point is, you already know what to expect in the questions. So why are you reading questions? And wasting time? Read the passage straight away and have confidence in your ability to put the summary in your head. Read passage, put summary in your head, then look at questions and tuck, answer them. Okay. This is the approach for CAT. Different approach for IFT, slightly different for ZAT. Okay.
So, sir, there's again a question from Mindral. Sir, do you recommend doing word power made easy for vocabulary?
See, word power made easy. If you have a lot of leisure time, you can do it. Now, all those Greek words and all those Greek root words, most of them, it's nice to know. You see, if you know them, it's good. But they are not the kind of words which come in RC passages. I've done so much of analysis of vocabulary. I've made so many vocabulary lists. I have a master vocabulary list on my computer of some 15,000 words, right? I've read so many books on vocabulary. Don't do Norman Lewis book, but if you have it, do the books, you can do the first preliminary test of some 60 questions, if I recall correctly, because I read it some 18 years back, right? And the list at the end. Don't do the in-between thing. Whatever you've done in between and you remember, that's good, but do the list at the end. That's the only thing useful at this stage, right? Otherwise, if you buy my book, you will be swimming in vocabulary. Every RC, all vocabulary you will have to assimilate. And 16-week vocabulary program, which you can crash into, let's say, 6 weeks, right? Do 3 times the number of questions in which sentence correction, confusables, right? Inappropriate usage, multiple usage, all kinds of stuff is there. Again, there also, like Norman Lewis, I have roots and common roots and words from there, which, so all that will help you retain words in groups. So I very scientifically designed a vocabulary supplement, right? 16-week program, which you can do virtually at 3 times the rate and finish it. It will be far shorter than the Norman Lewis book. It will give you the most relevant words. If those words meaning you don't know, then you are in trouble. While Norman Lewis, if you don't know what is, let's say, misogyny or, whatever, all the big words, autarky or this or that, those are not going to come in your exams. Writers normally don't use those kind of language. It is just he's showing you a multiplier effect. That's good. I mean, it's nice to know, right? So I would like to do that book sometime, but I've already done better books. There's a Reader Digest book on how to improve your work, where I did through roots. That was how I started. So I don't say roots are not a, but Latin roots. Latin has the most influence on the English language, then French. Greek comes later. And Greek roots are, from there, the words are most irrelevant to our actual life. That's there in some, certain kind of topics or some philosophical words. In that it fits in, but otherwise, most of them. So you're wasting a lot of time, though you're gaining something, but you'll be wasting a lot of time as well. So the relevance, see, if you have a CAT RC passage and their vocabulary word, those you should know. You have a ZAT RC passage, pass, and those words you should know, those you must know. And if you compare that vocabulary with the vocabulary covered in normal Lewis, you will find there'll be a very small area of intersection. If you make two set diagrams of vocabulary in my book and vocabulary in normal Lewis, there'll be a very small area of intersection. So this is what I have to guide you on. Next.
So sir, there are no more questions in the chat window.
Okay.
So sir, I would like to thank you for giving your time for this webinar and sharing the best knowledge for upcoming CAT exam. So the recorded version of this webinar will be live on the Wiley India YouTube page. If you have missed it, you can still watch it over there. Thanks, sir, for
Okay.
giving up your time. And thanks everyone for joining in today.
Thank you very much. And thank you for all your questions. You made it a very lively discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.